There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. We're a little bit early tonight. I thought I would come on and we'll just all together hug it out and make sure we feel okay on the back end of it. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. Hope you've been kind of keeping some level of sanity in this incredibly challenging market at the minute. It's been a pretty old wild ride from the heights of the $124,000 rally that we got a couple of weeks ago, even the heights of the Jerome Powell excitement where we thought Bitcoin was officially going to the moon. Looks like that's just on hold for a little bit longer. So we're going to get into kind of everything and anything tonight. We'll talk about what's going on in the charts. We'll take a look at some price targets. Equally, we'll kind of get into the news, which, again, these times, in my opinion, are absolutely sent to test the biggest resolve of many. Many people will go, oh, whoa, 2-bit. You can't say that kind of thing. We're going to break down why I think that. And again, looking at the macro sometimes helps to get through the micro. And I would argue we are definitely in that kind of micro space. So, as always, excuse me, if you are just coming in, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're brand new. We'd appreciate your support. And likewise, if you're here on TikTok as well, don't forget, just tap that screen. Make sure we know you're there. And any questions, any thoughts, opinions you've got, let me know in the chat as well. And we'll definitely try and answer them the best we can. Like I said, it's been a pretty old volatile few. Well, it hasn't even been volatile, really. It's been down, hasn't it? Let's just call it what it is. It's just been down. Also, I've got new sexy looking charts that I want to kind of just show with you. And hopefully that'll give us an indication as to when the market's going to change. And hopefully, therefore, we can kind of time this. Anyway, with that being said, let's say hello to a few people and let's get into it. What's going on? 37 Magic Craig's here as well. Welcome. Tim's here. Good to see you. Selmo with the emojis. What's going on, Selmo? Good to see you. Cake Face. It says manipulation yet again. Feels a little bit like it, doesn't it? Tomato Pete, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you, as always. And then shout out to all the fam coming in on TikTok. Coming in fresh, actually, right now. Fight for or fake. What's going on? JJ, good to see you. Dakota's in the house. Well, welcome to you guys. I appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for all the support already, guys. You guys are crushing it. Love it. Love it. As GTR's in the building. What's going on, buddy, as well? Welcome to everybody. So thank you so much. Dakota with the like little smiley things. So, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Here we go then. This is where we are. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Here's where we sit right now. TikTok, you need to be looking that way because we're going to bring the charts up and sort of walk for a little bit through. So see you in just a second. Right. Here we go then. Bitcoin now 111, 117 is on its way down. You would argue you're probably, just in my opinion, by the way, I think we're in for a little bit more pain. All right. I think we are probably going to see a little bit more of a not so great feeling just as this kind of washes through and ultimately kind of where we get to. So as you can see, we are testing a very key level right now. We need to look at this green line, the big green line here that's coming in. This is the 100-day exponential moving average. So this is taking all the volatility and giving us this. This is the kind of strongest line, this 20-day EMA that we're kind of looking at. We obviously broke that pretty aggressively over the course of 2 days ago. This now becomes an incredibly important level. If we lose this, so 110,800, which we are about to test, then I'd strap in because I think 110 is on the way. We may even go a little bit lower than that. I know a lot of people have been calling for this. So, you know, volatility is the aim of the game right now. We'll sort of try and get into why. I think is probably just where I want to sort of work out and ultimately sort of, you know, satisfy my curiosity as to, you know, kind of why we're seeing it. It's not really administrative policies. Equally, I would argue that it's not really financial policies. Unfortunately, it's just exactly what it is, which is rotation, profit taking, and ultimately people just getting shaken out of it. And so many people say this, by the way. So many people say it and they don't really know what they're talking about, but yeah, this is a pretty interesting moment. So we need to keep an eye on this. This is going to become this green line here. Look, 110,900 or one little bit low, 110,850, let's call it, is going to come probably a pretty important level for us. Now, the 200 MA is down here, so we don't need to worry about that particularly. But yeah, 110 could be the retest that we come and find. Now, a couple of things to note here, and I think you guys can see this. I'm just checking the screen, and yeah, so you can actually see it as well, TikTok, which is good news. So here at the bottom, by the way, I've got two other little new additions on my chart, just to kind of keep us dialed in, keep us kind of having a view, ultimately sort of letting us know what's going on, really. So the top one is basically an aggregated RSI indicator that tracks also the MACD as well. And basically this center line here that's around 50, anything below that is basically bearish. So what we could argue here is currently this trend is very much down. Now, I know you don't need a chart to tell you this, but actually what this is saying is we are definitely probably going to start to come down as well, right? We're going to see this continue to, unfortunately, you know, push down. Underneath this is another very interesting chart. Basically, this is another momentum-based chart that's telling us where you've got this green line is almost like the the kind of average line, if you like. When the red dots are below, this is signaling that we're going to see some pushing down. When the red dots are above, when the red dots are below, that's signaling that we're going to be pushing up. Red dots below signal. Hold on. Right, let me start again. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Right, red dots below this green line is telling us the market is pushing up. The red dots above the green line is telling us the market is pushing down. Now, importantly, both of these charts and both of these indicators do actually change based on the time frame that we have up here. So we actually be able to get a way more accurate view as to exactly what's going on. So we have the traditional ones up here, the moving averages, which is obviously important. Obviously, just trend spot on resistance lines that we talk about. But these two are going to be key to us. So, for example, we could go to the 4-hour chart and you look at the 4-hour chart and you say, well, okay, too bit. Yeah, we're definitely negative. It's definitely downtrending. And I know you guys would say, well, that's obvious. Like, look at the chart too bit. What are you talking about? Go to the hourly. And what we're looking for here is, are we seeing any kind of reversal? Is there an opportunity within the market that's telling us that we're going to go upside? That's kind of what we're looking for. Oops, sorry, TikTok didn't mean to do that. So we are looking for a change in trend. Okay, these big green lines are where you get significant upside momentum. And again, whenever we are below this main key green line here, I might change this line anyway, it's telling us that we basically are like super bearish. So again, 30 minutes, everything right now in short term and in the longer term looks pants, all right? So we're basically going down. So hold on to your arseholes because it's about to get pretty tasty, in fairness. When you start getting to slightly higher time frames, you start to get into a world where it's not quite as bad. Now, obviously, slightly longer time frames take longer to kind of work through, but if you're here on the monthly chart, what you can see here is the market is way overheated. So this is a natural pullback within the market and could actually bring us down to this 110 that we just talked about. Well, that'd be fine. That'd be in line with this. What you can see here on the weekly is actually, as a macro, we are still relatively bullish and relatively optimistic here on the weekly chart. Now, remember, bull markets don't just happen in days. They happen over weeks and particularly months. And then if you actually go to the monthly candle, you would argue that we are probably due a little bit of a cool down. We're probably due a little bit of a correction in the market. We are definitely overcooked. We're definitely overhyped. And actually, this wouldn't be the worst thing in the world based on the bottom that we come in here. We're way above all the moving averages. And then actually kind of say, well, that's kind of okay. I'm cool with that. Let me get rid of that. Then you plot what that looks like and you argue and you say, well, do you know what, 2-bit? We're probably pretty much in line with this. So I guess, you know, I'm not here to, you know, shill the fact that I think we're going to go to the freaking moon tomorrow. But I think it's important to reference that with some of these indicators that we're looking at, it is important to see where we are. Yes, it feels crap. Yes, you know, if they're breaking new all-time high, you're definitely not expected to be in this kind of pants position. However, like we always say on the channel, if you understand what's coming, then it's way, way more appropriate to understand exactly where we're going. So yeah, welcome back to TikTok. Good to see you. Anyway, right. So yeah, so that's just the charts. We'll get into kind of news and stuff in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys that altcoins. Look, I can go for the altcoins if you want. They're a freaking disaster. So let's just move on. Do you know what I mean? It's not even worth it. Ethereum's down 7%. Probably going to retest lower support. You can see there 4353. Watch out for that price range. Solana down 191. You know, in my opinion, this is why we always talk about, hey, make sure you got some capital on the side. Make sure you kind of dialed in. You've got some great opportunities out there to grab hold of the market. Why is it dipping? Kim, well, stick around because I'm going to tell you. But if we said 111,000 is fundamentally where people before, bear in mind, anyone that purchased here up until probably July, or maybe even slightly below here, up until this kind of point, they're all in profit. The reality is that that's not the case anymore. And actually, we can track this specifically. The reason the market is dumping, well, you have overhypeness when it comes into the just overall all-time highs that we've got through. And then obviously there's a bit of uncertainty in the market. People are still a little bit kind of curious what's going on. And what you have is a big liquidation event that came in, a big whale dumping 24,000 Bitcoin. Didn't catch that video. You missed out, in my opinion. So that's definitely one you can keep an eye out for. But fundamentally, longer term, I still think we're sitting pretty. So yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens with that one for sure. But yeah, stick around because we definitely got some more stuff to kind of walk through and talk through on here once. So got Lauren Babs in the building. What's going on, Bab? Swamp's here. Good to see you, man. Twitter Pete's here. Sean says, move over. Fairground. You all get. Holy shit, it's Fairground back in here. Holy shit. Hold on a minute. Hold your fucking horses. Here he is. Look. Stand by your beds. What's going on, Fairground? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to know that we're always here in it. You know what I mean? We're not going anywhere. We're keeping it real. We're still talking about Bitcoin not going to the moon. Anyway, good to see you back, buddy. Welcome to you. Cheese. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. So yeah, so that's kind of what we get to. Like I said, a lot of the altcoins, I don't really want to go through. Lots of opportunity for dips. Now, Chainlink's having a pretty good news. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But, you know, when you got Brett down 12% and Pepe gained a freaking 0, like, bruh, what? Good job you got capital on the side, baby. Good job you got capital on the side. However, look at this. Look at this move on Pepe, by the way. Hopefully this comes back a little bit. But yeah, very much the market is super bearish right now. So let's talk a bit about why and where we think this market is going to go, because this is important to understand. J-Roon, good to see you, man. Welcome. Don't forget, as always, by the way, if you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button every single day. We're bringing you live cryptocurrency analysis. We're taking you through the charts. We're bringing you the latest news, projects, reviews, and every freaking thing else. So make sure you hit the like button. Right. John, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. Turbo H-bar. Yeah, I hope you guys caught my H-bar video. Bullish. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Right. Bullish divergence, the weekly handle time frame on the for SNX synthetic. Check it out. A DeFi section coming up in about 30 minutes. So stick around and we'll definitely take a look at that. Best large cap alt to buy in this mini dip. Depends what you want it for. I would say AVAX just had a big announcement. I think AVAX would be good. I still stand by this. People think I'm a lunatic. Airdrome Finance is a great buy. It's a 40% APR if you stake it as well, which is crazy. And I still think Dupe's way undervalued. Their lending protocol's going wild. So that'd be my view, by the way. But if you're not sure, buy Ethereum. You're probably going to be fine. Right. CryptoCorn giving us a view here. And this is, you know, let's see if this aligns to our theory at the minute. Let's see if this aligns to kind of where we are. But this probably feels like the most boring cycle ever. But that's not just a feeling, it's actually a fact. Bitcoin has entered critically low volatility on the historically volatility more times than other cycles. No cycle has visited critically low volatility at all-time highs. But this boring is good. All moves to low volatility have been bullish without exception. This is important to reference this point here, by the way. There has also been no moves to high volatility this entire cycle, not even close. Everything above this screams potential. Now, what does this mean, right? Let's break it down a little bit. Basically, what we're saying here is that this cycle particularly has never been in a place where we have seen significant volatility, significant excitement, overheated markets, really. Like, yeah, we've seen some pretty crazy stuff, but nothing like super, super bullish. And actually what we see is the market pulling down significantly more, but not to the degree that we've seen in previous bull markets. And I think this is important to reference here. So kind of where CryptoCorn's going is, look, generally in bull markets, you are going to see a pullback, right? It's always going to happen. You could see some violent pullbacks. Let's take, for example, 2021. Just go on the 3-day chart here. It's going to let us get there a little bit quicker. But you can see here on 2021, we saw some pretty aggressive corrections on a number of different occasions, post pumps, post dumps. For example, when we, after the peak at 59,479, we actually wicked down over the course of 4 days, over 37.5%. Now, the reality is we haven't seen that in Bitcoin. We might have seen 8%. Maybe we've seen 12 at the absolute push. We've never seen a 37%. Equally, that then continued. And you could argue and say, well, the actual low was over 100% down from that all-time high. Now, when we rallied back up and everyone will have got absolutely super excited about what's going on in the market, we then saw another correction. Another correction of around 22% before then ascending up to the second peak. And obviously we hit new all-time highs there back in 2021. And you can go back 2017, all the rest of it, right? Okay, all plays out exactly as you would expect. Now, the reality here is, though, when we do exactly the same here, yes, you could argue and say, well, too bad we got a little bit of a move here. That was a 30% correction, but look at like the time frame that took us. So if you say, well, okay, well, that time frame to the top from the bottom there was 78 days, not 4 freaking days, 78 days to see the biggest move downside that we've had. The reality is right now, where we sit, bear in mind we broke new all-time highs. Where do we sit right now? Well, look at this. We actually broke a new all-time high, and yeah, okay, we are down a whopping 10%, and we're down over the course of about 8 or 9 days. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine, isn't it? That's not 37% that we've seen with previous market cycles. Equally, it then means that we have obviously got some key levels in which we get to. So you kind of go, well, I'm kind of all right with it. Like, it's going to be absolutely fine. And this is why CryptoCorn has given us his view. Actually, what do we see? Pump to all-time highs, profit taken, and we come back down. We then see generally institutional buying that comes on the top of it. And I'm not just meaning ETFs, by the way. Yes, BlackRock sold, and everyone panicked, and everyone told you that BlackRock was selling. What they didn't freaking tell you, though, baby, is they were buying huge amounts of Ethereum, which is obviously insane. But look at the general sentiment here in the ETF market. Well, they're fine. They're fine. Like, I'm not stressing it. I'm not stressing it. I think it's kind of, it's kind of exactly where we are. And you'd argue as well, based on kind of what we're seeing, then we're probably going to come to the end of this kind of sell-off cycle for ETFs, in my opinion. So anyway, keep your eyes out for this. It's all going up gradually, even though it goes down, it's still trending up daily. Exactly. I feel like the cycle will be shorter now going forward once the Sawyer cycle completes. Do you think, the more and more this kind of market does what it's doing, I'm almost in a world of thinking, like, this could be a bigger market than maybe we think about. But anyway, Bits Plays, what's going on? Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Sup, guys? Moderator in the building. What's your opinion on SMT swarm markets? No idea, but we can have a look at it in the DeFi section for sure. So anyway, let's continue on. When we then see these kind of institutional buying, it's then followed by like big institutional buying. So here you go. ETHZilla is allegedly now bought over 7,500 Ethereum worth about 35.2 million. They continue to buy, obviously on track for that $2.5 billion purchase of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, which I think is going to be pretty crazy. Bitmine, Tom Lee, obviously he's gone super backer bullish, as you would expect, and yeah, as kind of many people are. Now, we haven't actually seen this flow through specifically, but it is worth noting, by the way, that we actually had a significant number of purchasing today. Bitmine Immersion Tech bought $190,000 worth of Ethereum. ETHZilla, like we've just talked about, bought 7.6K, but even FG News, so even some of these that we don't know, bought over 1.1 thousand Ethereum. So whenever we see these dips, and this is kind of where I will allow you guys to be a little bit like, a little bit chopperish, all right? Let's just call it that, right? Let's just call it that, because so many people will say, oh, well, diamond hand it, mother trucker, and you're going to be fine. The reality here is that I think that's true. If right now you're just like, okay, I'm just going to hold on to it. Yeah, exactly, Holmes. I'm just going to hold on to it and see what happens. Like we've done for so long, you kind of go, well, it's probably okay. What was the weird drop about late yesterday? A massive Bitcoin OG whale sold 24,000 Bitcoin basically in one full clip. So the market's absolutely freaked out. It liquidated loads of leverage. You could argue, and I still think this, and people will tell me, oh, it's an OG whale. I actually got info and intel. Again, if you watched my video earlier on that I was talking about it, it went back to an old HTX, Huobi Global wallet. So I'm not saying Huobi Global dumped the markets, but certainly the wallet said they did. I'm just saying, show some love, smash the like button. You know what's going on, John. Thank you for that. Emptied the full mag. Yeah, just full clipped. Full freaking clipped. Right? Full freaking clipped 24,000 Bitcoin. Like, what the hell is that about? Like, it's absolutely freaking crazy. Anyway, important to reference, look at this. Another solid buy on the Ethereum charts. Now, you know, ETFs, not so much as crazy as we've seen, but look, certainly pretty bullish as this kind of all plays through. And then you see here on reserves, though, they are buying again. So, you know, kind of my view here is, well, look, they're buying significant amounts of Ethereum. It's going for treasuries. Well, we're probably going to be fine. ETHZilla's buying an absolute shit ton of Ethereum. It's absolutely fine. All right, in my opinion. So, playing through into a couple of other theories. And this one was a really interesting theory that I was like, yeah, do you know what? We need to talk about that. So, stock and crypto market update. NASDAQ is back to Friday's high, while Bitcoin and Ethereum are still struggling. Now, remember, obviously, Jerome Powell come in. So when we talk about kind of markets and all the rest of it, like look at the traditional markets. Why have we not got the NASDAQ on here? Come on. The f is going on? Let's get the NASDAQ on here. There we go. Right. Is this the NASDAQ? Is this what I want? Maybe it is. Okay. That's the NASDAQ. Yeah. The NASDAQ is basically back to where we were on Friday, which is fine, around 94.3. Is that actually the NASDAQ? NASDAQ Incorporated US dollar? Yeah, that's fine. The S&P 500 down only 0.5%, which is fine. Again, look at this, rallying back up over the course of that. We also see things like the Dixie up about 0.7. So traditional markets, even though we saw they were going to be bullish, and by the way, they actually did open up pretty well, if you ask me. They opened up very favorably in terms of what actually happened in the market. So that kind of thing. Oh my God, look at this. Bitcoin is absolutely collapsing right now. We're down 3%, 110. Hold on to your assholes, everybody. It's going to go way lower, I think. Bitcoin is collapsing, bro. Look at this. Look at this freaking candle right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, on Friday, market makers liquidated shorts by pushing Ethereum and other altcoins up nearly 14%. And this is kind of interesting, isn't it? The overall sentiment in the market was up. Everyone took leverage trades. We actually looked at it live on here on the channel. We saw how many people were going long on the markets, got absolutely wrecked. What'll be interesting to see is how many people are now going short on this market. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. High-level leverage traders will always lose this manipulation game, while spot holders are the ones who will make the good money in the next 3 to 6 months. Again, if you are leverage trading, please be mindful. You can lose freaking everything. These are what these people do. I talked about this actually at the event, which happened that they don't care about. Exchanges don't care about it. They wanted your money, and that's exactly what they did. So it's important to think about that, right? Important to think about that. So yeah, this is kind of interesting as where this plays out. Now, again, for the macro side of things, you're like, no, it's probably going to be fine. I'm not stressing it. I'm keeping with us. And then Ethereum ultimately passing the test here says, jump the creek, spring left to the dust. Well, the 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗁 model only has the outcome. Parabolic move, 6,000 ETH is written in ink. And again, sometimes price predictions are, controversial, let's say, but equally sometimes they can play out pretty well. There's the actual pattern that plays out. The downward wedge, boom, onto the move from this bottom range. So again, that's kind of where ETH is, albeit right now, ETH is pretty much collapsing in line with the market, which is fine. Which is fine. Now, there is obviously some pretty bullish news out there. One coin to keep your eyes on. And, if you truly don't know what's going on, then you are definitely going to miss out. Ripple is definitely set for some big things. The launch of the Gemini coin is pretty epic. We'll talk about that. Gemini coin, Gemini card in a minute. But rumors are now Ripple and Swiss Bank and a US blockchain firm are planning network merging digital ID compliance and tokenized assets with XRP as the bridge. Let's go, baby. So you got to hold on to XRP. That's my view. That's my view. Right. Bitcoin dominance, by the way, 58.64. It's back up, which is not good. But no surprise. You're actually seeing a little bit of purchasing coming into Bitcoin, but altcoins are getting obliterated. Look at this, 5.7% down in the overall total too right now. This everything minus Bitcoin. Overall market is an absolute freaking shambles, which, I guess is life, isn't it? Unfortunately, this is a big old dumperino right now on the total market cap, actually breaking down below this move back here from Fridays. This was the Powell move. Here we are on the hourly chart. Let's go to the dailies. Look at this. Some key levels at 20-day exponential moving average here on the total market cap, equally on Bitcoin. We are at 110. It feels like this is hold on to your horses. I talked about this right at the very start of the show. If we don't hold on to this, it could be about to be painful. 𝗏𝗏 has a 12 million USDC leverage long on BTC. Wow. I reckon he'll be pretty nervous right now, in my opinion. And again, I mean, let's take a real quick look at what is the leverage looking like right now, because I would argue we saw lots of leverage to the upside. We didn't really think there was a lot left downside, if I'm totally honest. We thought that had been cleared out right now, but maybe there is a little bit more to go. Maybe there is definitely a little bit more pain to come in this market. It feels like there is a little bit. So yeah, I mean, well, look at that. So we actually saw a strong amount. So people long in this market, absolute freaking lunatics. So yeah, you'd argue, here we go. Look, we're going to probably wipe this out. Maybe we settle at what, 109,800 probably feels like a bound. But yeah, look at this. Wiped out this lower leverage here. We're on the 24-hour. Let's go to the 3-day and see what this looks like. So we've personally come down, wiped out this long. So people trying to time the bottom a little bit, which should give us a bit of optimism. Do you know what I mean? You can look at this market one of two ways. Look at it with opportunity, or you can look at it with negativity. I choose the first, foremost. Ultimately, that's where I think we're going to get. So yeah, look at this. This is a disgrace, by the way. We talked about this on Friday. Look at this. Absolute shambles. Where we just wipe out a load of leverage. This is obviously leverage building now for people to try and time it. Look at that, 89.17 million at 110. So we probably wipe this leverage out and then start to push back to the upside as people probably start to come in and start to leverage long or start to leverage short, as they think probably we're going to see a little bit more. Then, yeah, they'll liquidate the short soon. I don't think you're wrong, Shoesmith. I think that's it. What, in your opinion, is going on today with this dump? I think you've got nervousness in the market. You've now got, think about this. You've now got anyone that basically bought here, basically Wednesday the 9th of July, as an example, is now underwater. So if you bought Bitcoin, even back here, look, if you bought Bitcoin on the 10th of July, let's say you come to the market, you're like, oh my God, this Bitcoin thing's amazing. I'm going to get in. Let's go, baby. You are now at a loss. So what happens is people have to then make a decision. They either diamond hand this and they say, hey, I listen to the 2-Bit Crypto Show. I am fine where we sit with this, and they hold on, or they absolutely freak out and sell the markets. And I think, unfortunately, people are freaking out right now. So we'll probably see a little bit more outflows on ETFs tomorrow, depending on where Asia goes. But I would expect more pain. All the charts and indicators are telling us we're going lower. That 109, though, if that holds, we could be in good news. Albeit, I'm saying we could be in good news. It's not going to be super crazy. It's not like, oh, tomorrow we're going to bounce to like 118K, unless like Trump comes out and say that the US have bought Bitcoin for the strategic reserve. But that feels a little bit unlikely. Don't forget, everybody, do smash the like button for a brand new all-time high. Also, if you're brand new to the channel as well and you want to keep up to date with all the latest in cryptocurrency, hit that subscribe button as well. We appreciate you guys working our way up to 40,000 subscribers, which will be bullish. So yeah, told you it was a bull trap. Stardog, get out of here, Stardog. We don't want your kind here. Get out of here. I'm kidding, by the way. Friday was amazing, but that BTC seller has spooked the market. Yeah, that's true. You're going to get that. You're going to get that. The important thing to reference here is that it didn't spook the entire market. You still had strong, conviction of Ethereum buying the dip, which, yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the key thing, though. If ever you needed a mentality around Davo, if ever you needed a mentality around taking some profits, this is your moment to understand that, in my opinion. So, yeah. Good. Okay. Right. Let's talk a little bit more about this Ripple news. I just want to just really quickly just show you guys something here. Man, it's warm today here in the UK. Right. Good. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just going to show you. It's easier. So here's just a dead quick chart for you. This is the short-term holders. What you can see here is actually short-term holders that have been selling. We don't actually have today's data, but you can see yesterday and equally there from that 22nd August top that they are selling their bags. We just talked about this. Again, it's important to think about. Short-term sellers can sell all they want. Who cares about them, right? This is the ones that we want to be careful of. These are, these are the ones that we need to be a little bit cautious of. You can see that spike from a long-term holder. This is obviously going to be driven specifically from that 24,000 Bitcoin. But look at this. We actually had 2.622, which is actually significantly higher than where we've been. That's nearly double what we've had. There's a significant amount of Bitcoin leaving from long-term holders. So again, understand what that looks like. But generally speaking, values over 1 indicate more long-term investors are selling at a profit. And then below 1 means that they are selling at a loss. So what you've got here is long-term holders are selling their bags, which I think is important to understand, not at a crazy level. What you can see here is short-term holders are freaking out and are selling at a loss. This is like crazy to me. Do you know what I mean? People are like just losing their mind. So like these short-term holders, these are all the people that probably got in on the massive Fed move, are now selling because they are panicking the market's going to go way down, right? So again, gives you kind of a sentiment of where we go. This is where, if you're dialed into the market, you subscribe to this channel, you follow me here on TikTok like all you guys are, then you kind of go, right, okay, maybe I didn't time the top. Maybe I should have taken the whatever, right? What do you look like from a macro statement? You go, well, is the market fine or not? Are we literally collapsing like FTX? No. So you kind of go, right, well, okay, then it's fine. I'm just going to hold tight. Anyway, right, good. Let's talk about this. Bullish just launched the XRP credit card, the best way to accumulate XRP. You can actually earn XRP specifically, which is kind of crazy. 4% back. I've gained about $4,000 in crypto by optimizing this card in my daily life. So it was kind of billed as a pretty big thing. XRP, getting a credit card. It's not quite as crazy. This obviously card's been around, but you can now earn XRP, which if you ask me is pretty bullish. And I'm sure many people will take up that opportunity to do so. I believe at the minute it's for US customers only. This is no way, by the way, an endorsement or sponsorship at all. It's purely just a statement of the news. But yeah, XRP is going higher. Zach reacted in the building. What's going on, pal? Yeah, I absolutely agree. I caught some of your content earlier, by the way. I need to be... Am I following you? I think I am actually now. Great content, by the way. Great content. And thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it, buddy. Coinbase is now coming out with their own credit card. Well, they have a debit card, don't they? But it's crap because you can only sell USDC, basically. Zach reacted. I'm bullish. Mate, I'm bullish on your content, bro. It's absolutely epic. So thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Poleman's in the building. What's going on, Poleman? Good to see you, pal. So yeah, this is kind of good news if you ask me, and certainly worth noting as, yeah, look, earn XRP with Gemini. Be bullish. Right, now, this is another statement I want to make, right? And this is kind of where, once again, you kind of understand some macro that's going on and kind of allow yourself just a little bit of an optimistic view of the market. So the United Arab Emirates is now on Arkham. Very interesting. The UAE's $700 million Bitcoin holdings are now labeled on Arkham. These holdings come from Bitcoin mining operations carried out by Citadel's public mining company, majority owned by UAE Royal Group through IHC. Arkham is the first to publicly identify these addresses. So we now know that the UAE are over $700 million in Bitcoin, and probably tells us what's coming, which will be more sovereign wealth funds, more buying, certainly from that kind of part of the world. And I think that's going to be where the real capital comes from. I absolutely believe that's going to be a strong mover in the market, and certainly will give us some bullish statements that goes through as well. So can we actually bring this wallet up? We can indeed. As always, we are super G's. Let's stick this in the wallets tab so we've got it to keep an eye out for. But yeah, you can see here that they were accumulating from Foundry Digital. This is the miner where they're getting it. So every day they're stacking it. Every day they are officially stacking sats there in the UAE's Royal Group through Citadel Mining. So keep your eyes peeled on that. But like I said, pretty bullish. And in the kind of, the midst of a market push down, Sharp Technology secures $400 million to establish a sole treasury. We said it was coming. Turns out we were right. Which is kind of good news, isn't it? Signing LOI with Solana Foundation to buy 50 million of Solana at a 15% discount. Now, this on the back, by the way, of 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗀 buying more Bitcoin as well today, which is kind of crazy. So it's here. Like, officially, we have a Solana treasury, XRP treasuries here. We obviously have big corporations, and yet people still think this market's freaking over. Come on. This guy is absolutely super bullish on what's going on in the market. I'm not going to tell you what he's doing, but anyway. Good news. Bought 5k XRP. Nice. Yeah, I have capital, by the way. I have a little bit of capital that I'm ready to deploy into the market, but I'm going to sit on it for a little bit. I think we could go just a tad bit lower. But I think alts could bleed again tomorrow, and if they do, then look, we'll wait and see what happens. I'd be looking to, DCA on some positions, so I'll probably buy a little bit more Pepe if I get an opportunity to do that, because that's just DCAing like a crazy person. And, maybe I take an opportunity to get into 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲. I staked a little bit more Aerodrome. I told you guys that the other day, which I think is going to be good news. And then equally something like BNB, but I just don't think you're going to get that dip. I bought a little bit of BNB back here somewhere, but it doesn't feel like we're going to get anything crazy on that. So, yeah, worth keeping an eye out for. Okay, good. Right, that is that. Great news on that one. Arkham Digital, we've done. Sharps Gaming, we've done. Okay, good news. Institutional investors reaching 33.6 billion in Bitcoin ETF holdings during Q2. Jesus, man, they're just buying so much more Bitcoin. It's kind of crazy. Now they're buying Ethereum like crazy people as well. All good news if you ask me. Chainlink, big news. Big news on Chainlink, actually, partnering with SBI to dominate institutional crypto assets. Who would have thought this, by the way? I thought this was going to be XRP, but Asia's interest in cryptocurrency is escalating, showing continued regional growth, with Chainlink's partnership with SBI challenging Ripple's dominance and marks a strategic shift. Despite successes, Chainlink's market performance lags behind traditional market perceptions. I said this, didn't I, about Chainlink? Crazy project, lots of good stuff, very much dialed into much of the market, feels undervalued, probably people forget about it. And, is sort of then turning up the heat and going pretty well. What about Pengu? Man, I saw Pengu, like, is it nearly like 10 cents right now? We'll talk about in the DeFi section in about 10 minutes. Well, yeah, about 5 minutes. But yeah, Pengu looks pretty crazy, in fairness. Don't forget, they've got loads of IP rights on Pengu as well. So that thing's going to be like, just not even care about the market. Where is it at right now? Pengu is, it's down 12%. Oh my God, look at that. It's at 3 cents. Holy shit. $2.3 billion market. Why did we not buy this when we were talking about it last time? What's wrong with you guys? Like, why are we not getting into this sort of stuff? Yeah, Pengu looks crazy, man, in fairness. Now, interestingly enough, it is at the low. I'll save it on here so we can take a look at it when we get there. But yeah, it looks crazy. So anyway, need to keep an eye out for this. Don't worry about this. This is Temu. You can't buy anything there. But yeah, Chainlink and Ripple are renowned for their role in payment infrastructure sector. Yet Chainlink's primarily excels in providing DeFi price fees where it remains virtually unmatched. Pendle probably being the only one that could maybe go and do something different, albeit that's on prices. Ripple has taken a more measured approach due to their ongoing litigation, impacting growth opportunities. Not anymore. But yeah, Chainlink, look, Chainlink, Tim and I looked at that, $11, didn't buy it, probably should have done. And yeah, here we are, look at 23.67, so could have done a 2x, albeit, What do you think, what to do with Solana? I'm holding on to Solana. Like, you got to understand, if you are into Solana, just go and have a look at the metrics of Solana. It is so undervalued to what it's doing, in my opinion, by the way. So undervalued. It outperforms Ethereum on, like, transactional speed, stablecoin market. Well, not necessarily stablecoin market, but certainly DeFi. Like, yeah, Solana's crazy. Like, I actually am contemplating buying more. Just my view. Healthy correction, Bobby. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Crashing. We're going to the freaking zero. Don't panic, Bobby. It's going to be fine. Probably, Bobby. It's going to be okay. How long are you holding onto your ETH? For a while yet. Yeah, for a while yet. Man, it's a bad feeling being down 68k. One time, you crazy man. 68k. Yeah, I'm down $68. My $200 portfolio. But yeah. Yeah, I'm holding on my ETH for a while. There's no way ETH's all-time high is going to be 4,900. No freaking way on this earth. It's going to go way higher than that. I think. My prediction. Not financial advice, always. Okay, good. Right, let's continue on. Look at this. BNB Treasury Company now to leverage Asian markets for global investor access. This is why BNB was a good buy. This is a good one. B Strategy, a digital investment firm, announced plans to launch a $1 billion US listed company dedicated to holding BNB. Let's go, baby. Let's buy some freaking BNB. Get it. Don't sleep on Chili's. I can't believe you're still super bullish on Chili's, Fairground. I love it. Although I feel like I saw it more than I'd seen for ages, actually. So shout out to Chili's. How high do you think ETH will go? I've always maintained between 8 and 10. I'd like to think that. Tom Lee, by the way, I think it's going to go to $19,000. I'd like to go there, but yeah, we'll see. Weekly bullish divergence for... Oh, you said that earlier. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. So yeah, I think it could go way higher than that. That's my personal opinion. That's why I'm kind of locked in on what's going on with ETH. And yeah, I'm pretty bullish on it. Pretty bullish. Someone said better to DCA on a Sunday instead of a Saturday, and I put in a noon, then we drop. Yeah, one time, always the case. Deals of the day is all about ETH. Let's go deals of the day. It looks like deals of the day. ETH is a deal of the day. Interesting. XRP to 10K 37. Let's get it. Brad Galileo says an XRP reward credit card out in the world. What a time to be alive. Let's get it, Brad. Right, Galaxy Digital multi-coin jump crypto plan 1 billion Solana fund. Oh shit. So you were asking about Solana. There you go. You got people coming in. Bear in mind, in some of these markets, this is like super early. Yeah, you have to go, Bobby, you have to go into your own, I'm assuming you're not actually Bobby, by the way, but you have to actually go into, it's your side, not mine. I can't actually change it here, but yeah, Galaxy Digital, by the way, that's a liquidity provider that we know about, is now looking to get a huge amount of Solana. What a surprise. And don't forget, with some of these, treasury companies, they need to understand the power of staking. So for example, Ethereum and Solana, we talked about it, didn't we? If all the Ethereum ETFs stake their ETH, they can earn something like $1.2 million a day just from staking their Ethereum. It's crazy. It's just a dip. I mean, we'd have been pumping for a while. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look, it's a dip off the top of an all-time high with a little bit of a leverage flush. Now, like we said, it looks like we bounced pretty much perfectly off that line at 109, slightly higher, 109. You know, we said 110, didn't we? You know, we said 110 on that line, and we're pretty much on the money in there. So, you know, interestingly, we kind of get to that point. So, yeah. Can you look at Tron and Sui? Ah, yes, I can. Yes, I freaking well can. I like Tron. Got on a 271 trade on Tron, in fairness. Tron, what the hell am I talking about? Sui. Yeah, 279 I got in on Sui, down here somewhere, I think it was. But yeah, looks pretty good. Again, though, what I would argue here on Sui is this is probably a little bit more bearish than you think, because actually we broke down below the 50-day and the 100-day exponential moving average. So here's the 200 right now. Let me just double check. There's the 200. Yeah. So, you know, could Sui drop even lower than this? Could Sui come at 326? Maybe. Key level right now on Sui to hold this. Probably, you know, 326 would align to a key level of resistance here that's going across there, and the divergence there with the 200 moving average. So, you know, if you wanted to be a little bit more bullish, if you wanted to try and grab a little bit of a dip or a wick down, you know, I'd be setting a spot order buy from about 326, maybe. Whether I'd leverage that, I don't really know. But yeah, Tron's a weird one, isn't it? Tron's a bit of a weird one because the whole ecosystem on Tron is crazy. You just get this like weird grindiness of Tron. Look at this. It just grinds its way up like constantly. I mean, Tron's freaking crazy. Yeah, definitely an interesting one on Tron. Definitely. Kim says, one time I was going to sell for the profit and was expecting more profit, and then they were dipping. Yeah, look, this is the key thing with the markets. Remember, you've got to take profits in this market. That doesn't mean that you have to go full. Oh my God, I just pulled the key off. Doesn't mean you have to go full clip in, full clip out. But, you know, if you've got like $100,000 portfolio and Ethereum hit an all-time high, like there's nothing wrong with just taking a little bit off the table. Take 10 G's off the table. It's fine. Buy back in at the bottom. Who cares? What you don't want to do is sit there and be like, right, I'm going to wait until the whole market's at all-time highs and everyone's going freaking crazy and then going to sell it. Like, you know, learn where the sell button is. It's not a bad thing. So sell low, buy high. JR knows what's up. Get out of here. Could you look at SNX? Yes, I will definitely look at that in about 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. And then dead quick, let's just look at this liquidation map. So again, you've got 236 million in longs. Look at this longs in the last 24 hours. $645 million worth of longs and 82 shorts. That tells you the market has literally gone and liquidated, which tells us again, by the way, that this is just a definite leverage flush. Look at this. Bybit, 97.74% of the liquidations that have happened in Bybit in the last 24 hours have been, in the last 4 hours have been longs. That is an absolute disgrace. And again, if you think about this, in the last 4 hours, these are all exchanges specifically to symbols. Go to exchanges. Bybit again. That's $670 million Bybit have just made in 2 days liquidating people. You think they're not going to do this on purpose? Get out of here. Anyway, right. That is pretty much the news and everything else. So over to you guys. Let's talk DeFi. Let's talk about what's going on in the markets. Let's talk about Pengu. Looking pretty interesting here on Pengu. So yeah, at 3 cents, by the way, this looks pretty crazy in fairness. I actually think Pengu could do some pretty big numbers. So watch out for that one. People are getting pretty excited as to where Pengu is going to go, in my opinion. Happy Monday, brother 2-bit. Hey, what's going on? Life. Who is that? See, this doesn't tell me your names, which is super annoying, by the way, but welcome. Welcome to you. Go ETH. Fairground knows what's up. So yeah, put your penguins, don't sleep on it. Massive IPO rights on this one. Could be pretty crazy. Right, what was the coin you wanted to look at? SNX, is it? Hold on a minute. SNX. Synthetic Network. This one, yeah? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what this mother trucker's doing. $223 million market cap looks pretty crazy. Oh my God, what the hell is this? Why has it done that? Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's get the right chart up. SNX. This is paired with like some crazy thing. Oh, it's on Uniswap. You with EUSD. Fine. Let's go with like probably a slightly more normal chart. Let's do this pairing with Ethereum. Might give us a view. Okay. BTC easy to 2x so far last cycle. ETH should also do an easy 2x, so 9.6k USD per ETH. Yeah, let's hope so. I'm down for that. Yeah, I'm down about 25, 30k in profit. Holy shit, Craig. I mean, I don't know what I'm down. About $67. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look at this. I would argue that unless this has got some like super crazy protocol that it's doing, it looks terrible. Looks really terrible, actually. So, don't know if I'd be involved in that one. Just my opinion, by the way. Just my opinion. Which coin is the next Shiba Inu this 25 bull circuit? Pepe. Maybe Brett. I don't know. Bonk could be good as well. I would argue it'd be one of them. Pepe, Brett. Maybe it's going to be like something like SPX 6900 or like one of those other crazy ones that have come out recently. I'm trying to think. Some of those will be pretty big. If in doubt, zoom out. 37 knows what's up. Could you look at SNX? I think that's there. I'm just saying I don't think I would touch it with a barge pole, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion for what it's worth. Yeah, man, look at this. Bitcoin 109. Man, something just went pop. Holy shit. It is a painful day in the markets. People are getting fucking wrecked. Look at this. 670k just got liquidated. 3.9 million. I mean, we just had a little bit of a pump. A little bit of a kind of comeback. And then, bosh, get absolutely nuked, mother truckers. Like, oh my God, we're going to freaking zero. Here we go. Let's stick with this. This is the 15-minute chart for BTC. Painful right now. BTC dumping again. Yeah. XLM is a mover, I think. Yeah, definitely. I think XLM is going to be good. Synthetic looks good. RSI versus price action weekly candle. Yeah, that's true. What's it doing, though? What's its narrative? What's its narrative? That's the question. I don't want to open my crypto. Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing as well. Just don't. Which coin can I trust my $200 with? And you can't. USDT. You could trust your $200 with USDT. It'll always be $200, though. That's the point. I'm just going to turn off everything again. Craig, stop it. You did that last night. Look what happened. We dumped aggressively. No, sell more. Oh, dear me. It is just how it is, isn't it? It's fine. Anyway, Link getting crushed. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the altcoins are still up. I mean, you got to kind of be in a world of going, right, do you know what? We're still okay. Bitcoin's still above 100k, which is fine. You know, Bitcoin is bleeding now. That's just the reality of it. We'll see where we close on the day, but you understand market makers are just going to take all of this leverage as well. So, you know, you either get into a world where you freak out or you don't. Is the 93 CME gap right? Well, there is a gap at the 93k CME gap. We talked about this yesterday. We actually put it on our charts. It's here. Look, there he has. There is the 93k CME gap that has not been filled. So, you know, are we going back to that? I mean, people seem to think so. It's going to be a green week. Yeah, I thought this week was going to be pretty green in fairness, but yeah. But yeah, basically the CME gap is a real thing. The debate is whether we get there. You know, generally speaking, CME gaps do get filled. So worth noting, I think. Worth noting, but yeah, we'll see. By the way, don't forget, we've got 32 likes here. Make sure you hit that like button. We've got over 85 people in the live stream and about 40 odd here on TikTok as well. So shout out to all you guys coming into the channel. Scoop, rumors are swirling that Caroline D. Pham, acting chair of the CFTC, will join at MoonPay once the payment chairman is confirmed. Nice. That's pretty bullish. That is pretty bullish, isn't it? I thought there was going to be something like, just to confirm, like, you know, the crypto market is just being taxed heavily by some absolute weapon or something. I don't know. Diamond hands while crying. Yeah, I'd say, just take all my money. Just take it all. Jesus. I suppose you can all thank yourself. It's only Monday. Still a lot of macro to see the rest of the week. Yeah, it's a pretty boring week, though. Nothing crazy going on this week. It's all going to happen, like, next week, first week of September. That's when it's going to get pretty tasty, I think. But in terms of actually what's coming this week, not a lot. I've got a few bits coming through next, next sort of few days, but nothing crazy. You know, nothing really going on tomorrow. Shane, what's going on, Shane? Good to see you, man. Consumer confidence is going to come down. That's not going to be anything to really write home about. Again, Wednesday, pretty boring. Then we get core PC on Thursday, nothing burger. You guys might hope it's going to be something, but it won't be. It's going to be a complete waste of time. If we fill the 93 CME gap, it would only wick down. Maybe. I mean, that's what people kind of feel. People are just like, it's got to fill it. As we talked about yesterday, Bitcoin likes to go and not leave anything. Man, it just looks like Bitcoin just, honestly, I'm on Bitcoin dominance. I was like, oh my God, Bitcoin's nearly at 111. Like, what the hell just happened? Right, let's stick with that. I mean, look, here's the key thing. A wick down's fine. A close at 110. That's kind of what we're sort of hoping for, to be honest. After that, we pump. Yeah, I think so. Look, macro side of things, I'm still pretty optimistic where the market's going to go. So, yeah. What's going on? Hey, yes, good to see you, buddy. But, yeah, the actual kind of key thing happens here. Look, Friday 29th, PCE is going to come in. That'll be kind of interesting to see. And then we start to get into this whole, like, September. First week of September is going to be pretty spicy. Because then, obviously, we're getting close to rate cuts. History tells us September is a disaster month for, for markets. So we do need to be, we do need to kind of be mindful of what that looks like, because generally speaking, it is a disaster. And yeah, we're probably going to see it be a little bit more painful. This is not what I wanted. I want this and I want this. So here you go. Look, this tells us September generally negative 3.7 as an average. And then October, November is a boom shankalanka. So, we could dip another 3% in September and skyrocket in October. Where would that put us, by the way? Well, I guess it depends where we finish August at. What does August normally do? 1.3. We're currently at 3.29. So we are negative versus traditional moving in the market. So, look, I mean, we definitely kind of see where we get a little bit there. What can I make a quick flip on? eBay? Give me something to throw $1,000 in. In this market, you're crazy. Like, why would you put $1,000 into anything? Sit tight, relax, chill out, wait and see what happens. That's my opinion. And then make a move on the back of it. Right now, if I was honest, and I'm dead honest with you guys, I think you'd probably lose it. That's just my opinion. Rizween, don't even know what that means, but anyway, good to see you, man. But yeah, Gatlin, I'd just chill. I'd sit tight and see what happens. Look at the market. Like you, I think you would lose your money. Or you'd certainly do it now. And I think the market's going to go down. Everything is telling us we are going down a little bit lower. I mean, to lose the 50-day and the 100 is not good. Where do we next see some support? I mean, you could argue maybe the 93K CME gap. If we fib this mother trucker, where do we get to? Let's take it. Let's have a look. Fib this down to there. So you could argue 108, 481 would be the 382 Fibonacci. Lower than that, 104 before we start to really test some of these lower ranges. Yeah, it could be spicy. If we did 93K just as an example, if we as an example where the CME gap would be, let's say we wick down to 93, gives you kind of lower end support. What does that look like? 108, 570 feels like that could be the next price target on the fib. Did and was support here and resistance, so that probably feels pretty accurate as to where that goes. 104.942. So think about some of these price ranges. Throw a K to 2-bit. That'd be good news. I would as well. 108.570, probably next level if we don't hold 110. So probably a key level to think about. 108, 570, 104.9. And then, 100K is obviously a big psychological level for us, which actually we've hit a number of times before we head on down to that 93K. So let's hope we don't get there, but give you a little bit of kind of where that's going. So, yeah. I honestly feel sorry for people buying at the bull top. Yeah, well, look, that's just life, isn't it? Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to buy the top in order for people to make those money. Dude, SNX weekly bullish divergence. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, look at it again? Here, look. Jesus Christ, the only one we've looked at. It looks terrible. It's down 9.8%. It launched 3 years ago. Unless I'm looking at the wrong coin, which I'm more than happy to, give my view on. But I'm assuming this could be it. But, I mean, what the frick happened here? Like, looks like a freaking disaster. So it's down. I mean, this clearly isn't right. I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, long to the moon. Well, there are so many out there selling right now. Yeah, that's the crazy thing to think about. We talked about that. Short-term holders right now are selling at a freaking loss. Like, what? Are you guys absolutely out of your fucking mind? Just set of lunatics. There's no indicator to show short-term holders. This is a short-term holder. I mean, that's definitely not an accurate chart, is it? Definitely not an accurate chart. I was curious if we could actually see it, but I don't think you can really see it in live times, can you? Selling, just buying, come on. Feyenoord, what's going on? Only idiots sell at a loss. Who does that? I mean, that's true. Unless you're in some like really shit meme coin players, then, maybe that's probably not bad to chat. But yeah. yeah, there isn't really a live chart that you can kind of, you know, sort of really see what's going on, to be honest. Really see what's going on. But yeah, short-term holders definitely starting to tick up a little bit on this one. So Bitcoin short-term realized price, no one cares about that. Longs versus shorts. Bitcoin short-term holder. Okay, right, yeah, fine. What do you think of Say? I kind of like Say. I'm not into Say. I haven't bought any, but yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's got some opportunities. I like it. The network feels pretty good as well. Near Protocol, yeah, we're in that in the investment group. Near Protocol, good shout. I like Near Protocol. Definitely got some good opportunities as well. Definitely got some good opportunities. Glad I sold my 24K BTC the other day by mistake. Looks like it was a good one. I mean, that's true. That's true. Definitely looks like a good one as well, I would argue. Yeah, I actually converted some ETH back to stablecoin. Actually was sold 4,800 on ETH, and I'm holding USDC right now, which has turned out to be a pretty good idea as well. So yeah, 14 likes, 74 watching. My sums don't add up. I think you need to refresh your page. We're at 41 likes with 70 watching. So again, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. Likewise, tap that screen if you're here on TikTok as well. So shout out to you guys. Keep calm and carry on. 37 knows what's up. It's panic. We've been here so many times, but this time BTC is above 100K. So all good. Sit back and watch people get wrecked. Stardog. Stardog's like, yeah, just liquidate them all. But yeah, certainly on the macro side of things, this is a pretty painful day. What's crazy is like the actual macro. I mean, look at this. This is an aggressive dip. Nothing like we saw here though. So look, it's just, you know, it's just life, isn't it? It's life. But the fact that we see more and more companies buying, I'm still way more optimistic than probably I should be. So yeah, which is fine. Which is fine. Richards, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Welcome. Welcome. Nearly 10,000 likes here on the live stream as well. So shout out to you guys. Loving it. Loving it. Blockchain. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Blockchain Bullhorn sending the roses in. You legend. Oh, Selmo dropping a $3 donation as BlackRock will fix it for sure. Selmo, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the donos. Coming in fresh right now, you guys. Crushing it, baby. So yeah, let's see what we get to. Like we said, we talked about some key price targets you need to be aware of. If you want to know what they are, make sure you dialed into this channel. We keep you updated every single week of the market, or every single day, in fact. We're trying to keep you dialed in. We're trying to keep those portfolios moving forward. Now, let's just take a look. Oh, I don't think I've signed into a wallet. Oh, okay, don't matter. Who cares? I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. Gaia, what the hell is that? Thoughts on GAIA? I don't even know what it is. Gaia token. Look at this. What are my thoughts on it? It's a $6 million market cap. I mean, well, the chart looks all right, actually. The chart looks okay. That's what I would say. That looks pretty optimistic. And looks like it's slamming some like liquidity. And holy shit, what's this doing right now? Gaia token. Gala. Does it say Gala, does it? Does it say Gala? Doesn't it? It says Gaia. Gaia. Is it this one? Man, I think I broke my keyboard. Oh, don't lose that. Why does my, look, this key keeps coming off. Why does this key keep coming off? Look, TikTok, what the hell? It's my arrow. Why does it keep coming off? Confuse me. There we are. Gala Games. I mean, I wouldn't touch Gala Games if it was your money, to be honest. Jeez, that's just my opinion. Get some sleep, bro. You know, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, Crypto Watcher. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, my man. Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. 401ks will be buying, so they need to lower the price. I mean, that's true. Oh, God, do we allow us to get ourselves to that place? But it's true. It's true. Watch out. Watch out. Those freaking choppers are going to be coming into the markets pretty soon. Absolute chopperinos. By the way, some definite movers and shakers out here. Some nice movers. Awoke. I don't know if you guys saw that video I did on this. Now at 623. Called this at 480. Bullish. Good news. SAC's not doing too well, but I think this will bounce back. 753K right now. Looking good. Which would be good. And then, yeah, all pretty bullish. Chew. Called this at, what the hell did I do a video about this? Like 200K something? It's like down here somewhere. This one moving and grooving as well. So yeah, some good news. Some good news out there. By the way, if you want to get some alpha calls, then make sure you subscribe to my TikTok. It's going to cost you $3 a month. It's definitely worth it, though. Not your keys, not your crypto. Tomato Pete knows what's up. Laugh a lot. Sold my XRP for Gala, bro. Cheese. Get the hell out of here. Any news upcoming this week worth keeping an eye on? Honestly, no. I don't think so. I really don't. It's a boring week. You're going to get PCE on Friday, which is literally just a non-event, really. Sailor bought more Bitcoin today. The only thing to keep an eye on will be like any kind of relations on like US adoption. Maybe we get something like that this week, but I don't think so. Personally. GAIA, not Gala. Yeah. That's what we've just been looking at. But look, again, look, we'll see. That's my view on it. That's my view on it. We've been here before. We've definitely been here before. I mean, Jesus Christ, we were here in the FTX collapse. But in the short term, everything looks bearish. That's just my view. The market is definitely going down, and we're definitely probably going to see it. Do I want to let myself think about the 93 CME gap? Probably not. Is it worth de-risking? Perhaps. Again, that'll be what the market will be doing, albeit shouldn't really be de-risking for any macro news stories. Really. I mean, this one could be an interesting one. GDP growth rate, that could be an interesting one. You know, where do you think? I mean, don't forget, you could get like a tariff surplus, positive GDP growth. The markets would be like, oh, hey, this is great news. Like, let's absolutely freaking send it. May not as well. Caroline's still in prison. Let her out. Free Caroline, for Christ's sake. So is September better or another? Yeah, September's crap. September is generally the worst month for crypto. So yeah, it's bad news, unfortunately. Anyway, just for the pre-markets, by the way, this is super early, but yeah, obviously Dow looks terrible. S&P 500 down a little bit. You've got NASDAQ and the Russell down. Here's what we're interested in, though. The Nikkei and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange both look very bullish for opening, actually. This could be kind of crazy. So Asia may come in and buy this market, you know. Asia may come in and buy this market. They did last night. It wasn't quite as crazy as it looks now, but, you know, Asia may say, right, man, all these crazy people selling Bitcoin, like, let's get it. Let's get it. You know, maybe we see, like, a big announcement this week. I don't know. Sit tight. But, yeah, lots of pain coming in. Lots of pain coming in. Again, look at this. Anything below the 50 range, bearish. So we're definitely bearish here on this indicator. This is obviously a, let's call it a manipulated RSI trend. And then likewise here, look. So wherever the red dots are in, this is where you've got to be mindful. And they are very much bearish as well. So yeah, lots of just bearishness. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm the bearer of bearish news. Tokyo, Japan, WebEx 2025, August 25th, 26th. Blockchain, yeah, Bitcoin Asia is also this week, I think. But, I mean, don't expect anything crazy out there. Blockchain Leaders Summit 2025, yeah. Thing is, it's the same thing. I don't think anyone crazy is there. I think Eric Trump's there, isn't he? Maybe Jerome opens his yapper somewhere, or Gary Gensler said he was coming back. We don't Gary Gensler back, Jesus Christ. But, yeah. Let's go down, Robert Dover. Good to see you, man. The market will be back on track after Labor Day next month. I mean, yeah, possible. Don't forget, we've got rate cuts coming. You know, now, that's not super crazy for markets, but it is obviously good news. And don't forget as well, I can't remember what the indicator is. Can anyone else tell me? M2 Global Liquidity Index that goes over here. I don't want it here, though. I don't know which one it is. I want that to actually see it on the chart, because there was a delay. We sort of touched on this. Is that going to put it on the chart? Oh, it is. Oh, here we go. Perfect. 2 bits. God, the freaking skills. Right. Let's get rid of this. What is the offset on here, by the way? Holmes. Where's Holmes? Holmes, what's the offset? 108 days. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so look at this. This is M2 on BTC. You can see there we've got the wick up. So M2 has been trending down. Global Liquidity Index. But we saw another little trick down. Again, we probably need to see consolidation, and then this should start to push to the upside. Look at this. M2, though, is still going up. Again, another one to think about where this goes to. So we're kind of, you know, we're playing out pretty much obviously as it goes up. Now M2 starts to accelerate to the upside. So if you are an M2 believer, by the way, I'll show you guys. TikTok, here you go, look. There you go, TikTok. There you go. You can have a look as well. So this big yellow line is M2 Global Liquidity. This is what we need to keep our eyes on for. How are they printing money? What's interesting to note here is that it does seem to be following a very obvious pattern when it comes to Bitcoin. Here's the dump. We probably see another flat day tomorrow, in my opinion, and then M2 starts to creep up. Here's the kind of key catalyst we're looking for, which will be sort of beginning of September. You know, maybe September becomes very, very bullish. Maybe we get this kind of, you know, maybe we kind of hold this range. We sort of sit tight maybe, and then we start to see a further push up to the upside. We'll keep an eye on that one. For sure, we'll keep M2 on here. I think it's probably going to be worth it, isn't it? So good, right. Any questions you guys have? Any thoughts, opinions, coins, whatever it is, let me know. We'll bring it up. And yeah, we'll bring it up. Only ID Tim Shea doesn't sell his bags. Tim is the most bullish man on the planet. He loves it. Welcome everybody here on TikTok, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. Don't forget, if you enjoy the type of content, worthwhile hitting the follow button. That way you're updated every time we go live and bring you the latest. Likewise, if you're on YouTube, by the way, don't forget, smash up that like button to a brand new all-time high as well. We appreciate you, which is good news. Which is good news as well. So, yeah, and as always, don't forget to check the links in the description. I actually have a new YouTube channel coming. If you're interested, it's going to be a meme coin-based channel. It is down there in the description. Head on over, just subscribe. We're going to get some content coming out on there pretty soon. So if you like all that, then yeah, go and watch it. It's going to be worthwhile, in my opinion. Right, this is going to be a very interesting, probably the next 4 or 5 hours when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. This could get pretty painful if you ask me. Vern's in the house. What's going on, Vern? Bobby says, see you guys at 0. See you there, Bobby. It'll be, let me tell you, the dollar will go to 0 before Bitcoin, baby, so it's fine. It's fine. Nice. Nearly 11,000 views on TikTok. 11,000 likes on TikTok as well. So shout out to the TikTok fam. We appreciate you guys. Man, grinding but off now. Man, I know the feeling, Vern. I am literally grinding like a crazy man right now. Like a crazy man. Trying to drive as much opportunity as I can into this market and into your portfolios. That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. Danny says, I'm new to crypto. Is this a flush out or is this the start of the bear market? Danny, it's definitely not the start of the bear market. This is, I guess the terminology they would use is a liquidity flush, a push down in the market. It's a opportunity for, people to get wrecked. And if those emotions inside are like, shit, should I sell at a loss? I think it's going lower. That's then the market will turn the other way. What I would say, if you're brand new to crypto, welcome to the channel. You found the best channel out there for anyone. Maybe you're an absolute superstar or maybe not. So Davo, hitting that subscribe button. Let's go, baby. Welcome to the channel. Well, probably good timing, Davo. Probably good time. We've got some alpha calls coming out for you guys in there. So yeah, thank you for that. $3 a month gets you into the alpha group here on TikTok as well. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for the subscription, baby. Love it. They want your crypto. They really do. They really do. BTC 2025 price target, 150 to 165. It's not really a trader group. It's more, I post videos and content in here that that basically you get before anyone else. So for example, there'll be like a big marketing push on a coin and I'll put that into the subscriber channel. If you want to get into our Discord, we're building the Discord out as well. But yeah, for $3 a month, I've got, let me just give you a bit of alpha here, Devo. Let me give you a bit of alpha here. I have got, I think, I'm going to say 5, there'll be 5 projects going into there over the course of the next 3 days. So worth it, in my opinion. Worth it. And it's $3. Like, oh my God, who cares? It's $3. Anyway, well, can you imagine if we come down and fill the 93 CME gap? At least we can almost guarantee that it will be the bottom of this dip. I mean, that's true. AVAX price target, man. I mean, I was super bullish on AVAX, by the way. I was hoping for AVAX to be like $400 maybe. But I still think it can, by the way. I'm still pretty optimistic about where AVAX, as well as I am with a number of other coins. The problem we've got now at the minute is, I love the fact, Chris Moore, you've just come in and gone, AVAX price prediction. So you're not writing these down, are you? Don't hold me against it. AVAX ETFs yet. AVAX ETFs, big partnerships. Don't forget the Avalanche Foundation are grinding like crazy people. So yeah, definitely worthwhile keeping an eye on that one as well. But yeah, Sol, I'd like to see Sol break 1,000. We've got to say that, haven't we? Sol's got to break 1,000, definitely. I'll wait until the dump is over, confirmed, to put another 20k in, and that's my limit. Okay. Just done me for no reason today after Friday's rate cuts news. Crypto is a scam. Well, I mean, crypto is volatile is probably the best way of putting it. And bear in mind, there was an optimistic view of rate cuts. They weren't guaranteed. They were pretty much clear on if the data suggests it's going, and we could look to change our stance on monetary policy. Then you could argue, yes, okay, rate cuts were talked about, hinted at. They weren't guaranteed, and I think that's why you got to be important. At the same time, by the way, we could do a 6% move tomorrow and everyone will be like, oh, it's fine. Crypto is what it is. It's a volatile asset. All I would tell you is long-term, if you're invested in digital assets, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatever it is, it's going to do you far better than if you've got your money sat in a bank. That's my opinion. All right. And I'm a walking example of that. I don't have bank accounts, savings accounts. I don't have any money stored in a traditional bank outside of my pension and what we kind of use. I am 100% savings and invested into this digital market. So, when people go, oh yeah, I'm definitely involved. I'm like super, I am literally in it, right? I'm in it. I don't have a savings account, but I don't care. Anyway, look at this, 84.3% that we are going to get rate cuts, which will be bullish for the markets. They're definitely going to start the market move as well. So yeah, good news. I just wonder if we visit 93 level, what would that do for the rest of the market? Crash the shit out of it. But anyway, it's life, innit? 2-bit your Discord up and going. Yes, Robert Dover, link in the description if you join the Discord. It is totally free to get in there. It's not a paid service at all. I do want to build the Discord out. So again, you get all my latest videos that go in there. We will start doing some trade alerts. I am going to start doing some stuff in there as well, but I want to build it out first. No point in like doing trade alerts for like 6 people. So get your ass in there. It's totally free to join. I actually looked at some other YouTubers, by the way. It's $100 to join their Discord channel. Like, what the fuck is in that thing? But we're going to have some educational content in there as well. So it's going to, you know, we want to turn it into like a cool place. And then, yeah, and then we'll build it out from there. So definitely worth it. Link in the description, by the way. So check it out. Just topped up XRP and H-bar. Daniel, like it. I like it. Same here, 2-bit. Yeah, Bobby knows what's up. Quant short now. XRP goats in the house. What's going on, bro? Day Range, you think this will happen? What? I think what will happen? What happened with XRP? It's just a broader market, dumperino. Just a more broader. Hey, Davo. I appreciate Davo. Thank you so much tonight. You are absolutely crushing it, my man. I'm hoping these players are going to work out pretty favorable for you. Welcome to the fam. Oh, you get a title, don't you? Does it say Chad next to your name? Or why is it not? Oh, I'm gonna make sure it says Chad next to your name. Don't you worry about it, Dave. I've got you covered, bro. XRP will go huge, don't sell. Yeah, I think XRP is definitely going to do very, very well. I mean, my bearish case in XRP is $8 this bull market cycle. So I think we're in for some pretty good news. And yeah, look, you know, we've got to get through this. Think about this, right? Think about it. Here we go. We're going to do a little bit of psychology, right? You might be thinking the market's absolutely going to zero. You might be super annoyed that you bought the dip. That you bought the top. Equally, at the moment, though, you're given an opportunity to get into some top coins. Would I be going and buying, you know, Jerome Powell's stool sample meme coin right now? Probably not. If I had some play money, let's say I've got a couple of $100 and I want to go and do it, fine. Am I going to go 95% into like absolute degenerate shit coins? No. But at the same time, if I bought a 124K Bitcoin and it's at 109, this gives me an opportunity to DCA. If I bought a $212 Solana, it's 186. Happy days. You've got opportunities. But think about this. Ethereum's still at 43.68. All right? It's down 10%. Who the cares right now? 43.68. ETH is still holding up pretty well. It's on a key support right now that I'm sure will hold. Probably. It's fine. We've definitely been here before. I mean, Jesus Christ, like Tuesday, the 19th of August, we were dumperino, baby. We were down at 4,000. Like, we'll see. Watching Monday Night Raw right now live from Birmingham. I don't even know what that is, but I'm annoyed I don't have more fiat garbage to buy more. I mean, that's true. Do we need to link join the Discord? Yes, but you can get it if you literally go to my profile here on TikTok. You'll see the link that takes you to my YouTube channel, and you'll get it there. Basically, I don't know if there's a way I can kind of do it on here, but yeah, basically you can get it on my YouTube channel. And get yourselves in there. It's worth it. It's going to be cool. Like I said, it's super early. It's only been going like a week. So yeah, like don't hold it against me, but it's bullish. It's bullish. So get yourselves in there. It is definitely the place to be. We're going to build it out. It's going to kind of, you know, we'll start to get some stuff going in there. We'll start to get some, you know, some kind of news flowing in there, some chart alerts, all that kind of stuff. It's all going to start flowing into the Discord. We're just getting everything kind of set up. But yeah, we got like, I think we were up to, what are we at now? Like, I don't know, 40 people or something maybe. So yeah, it's building out quite nicely. Dumps for nothing, even though a ton of bullish news. Yeah, look, exactly. But understand why the market's dumping. People want your crypto and they want it cheap. Hey, well, there you go. Calamari's in there. What's going on, buddy? Bits Blaze, thanks so much, pal. Appreciate that. Right. Hold on a second. Do that. Do you just look up 2-bit on Discord? No. Robert Dover, literally go to the description of this live and then it is in there. Make sure you click the right one, right? Definitely make sure you click the right one. So just go down to the description, click the description and you'll see it. It's like, it's a little bit further down basically. Here, look, I'm pretty sure this is it. This is the Discord link, unless I am mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. That is the Discord link. All you got to do is click on that. It's going to take you over to Discord. You need to verify, and then you're in. Like I said, it's totally free. And yeah, like just worth getting in there, but it is in the description, so you can get involved. Get involved, baby. Right. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Good, right. Well, on that news, on that absolute bombshell, 109.714. That's where we currently sit. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to get pretty spicy over the course of at least the next, 24 hours in this market. I think it's going to be pretty tasty. So we need to keep our eyes peeled. We need to be focused on the market and our opportunities obviously in front of us. So, Angel Trolls, what's going on, pal? Good to see you, my man. Yeah, hopefully we'll see a reversal soon. Again, we'll see where the market gets to us. But as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We're going to be back tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. here in the UK. Does look like Bitcoin is pushing down 109,577. Keep your eyes peeled. It might get tasty. But until tomorrow, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.